Asari Dokubo's Obi-turay. Wow, this is really shocking. After attacking and degenerating the detained indigenous peoples of Biafra, IPOB leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the notorious ex-Niger Delta militant leader and the founder of the Niger Delta People's Volunteer Force, Asari Dokubo, 58, seems to have shifted his venomous attention towards the Labour Party presidential hopeful, Mr. Peter Obi, lately. He had described Obi as a big scammer in turn and followed it up later by saying that the former Anambra State governor was a total misfit, a glorified yahoo. Dokubo concluded by declaring that Peter Obi had not what it takes to defeat both the PDP's Atiku Abubakar and the ruling party's Asiwaju Bola Tinubu in next year's presidential poll. But the truth of the matter is it that Dokubo, but Nigerians, that would decide who becomes president post-Buharism? For Dokubo, launching attacks against Obi online could damage his hard-earned reputations and lower his spirit towards the general elections slated for February next year. But if that was the primary objective, Dokubo had failed woefully. If reactions that trace his outbursts online and offline were any indications, then it stands to reason to infer that he had reaped failure as conquerors. Who the hell is Asari Dokubo? Dokubo came to national limelight many years ago as that glorified terrorist working with other militants to sabotage national oil and gas installations in the Niger Delta. The argument then was that their region and their people were not getting enough of the proceeds of the resources found in their native lands from the oppressive federal government. Of course, they were fighting a just cause for which a great playwright and environmentalist, Ken Saro-Wiwa, had paid the supreme price. He took a presidential intervention in terms of an amnesty package for the boys to be placated. The late ex-president Umaru Yar'Adua granted a blanket amnesty to Dokubo and other criminals blowing up pipelines and smuggling crude oil outside our shores. Monetary rewards and other palliatives came with the package, and Dokubo and co smiled to the bank. Today, this Niger Delta retired crude oil thief and saboteur is living in self-imposed exile in the neighboring Benin Republic, saying Dokubo on video recently revealed a troubled soul, and with heavy beats he cuts the image of a jihadist beaten and bruised. Perhaps his money in the banks are running in the red, hence he need for more, hustling with the hope that a politician of fortune could contact him for a contract worth millions. Indeed, it is surprising that Asari, the Bonfu, has not come to terms with the fact that the Igbos are formidable and that they possess a strong, indomitable spirit. Maybe he is envious of our gods and Republican lifestyle, or he is suffering from an incurable inferiority complex coming from an Ijaw minority ethnic group, or possibly Dokubo is playing a dangerous politics of challenging greatness in vain hope that he is so doing he will exploit the circumstances to launch himself into national relevance once again. Having been humbled out of circulation by the amnesty and windfall extended to him and his criminal league, Dokubo may have believed that sabotaging critical petrochemical infrastructures of the Federation could pay arms solid. Alas, herein lies the problem. Why it is generally agreed that Niger Delta region had suffered state neglect, terrorism, remember the oil massacre, and marginalization, using terrorism and criminality to fight the state could be said to be a smart move. Dokubo is a yet satisfied with what he has gotten. He wants more packaging in the looting sphere could be an irresponsible attraction to a man with large appetite for free money. Trying hard to wink himself into the corrupt system using Obi as a battering ram is the wrong way to go about it all. Maybe Dokubo could, for once in his lifetime, contest an election and see how popular or otherwise he is in his region. The Igbos are a proud, rich ethnic group. Their pride lies in our linguistic heritage, our rich culture, our entrepreneurial might and can-do spirit. Dokubo should ask himself, how on earth an ethnic group whose 3 million members were massacred during the Biafra genocide could rise out of the ashes of that program to build an economy that is today the envy of the world. He might interrogate his conscience and realize that the Igbos are not his enemy, but if he elects to make an enemy out of the Igbos, then so be it. He must live with it. Trying to bring down some prominent Igbos of the national stage can never see him occupying 50 or whatever, or becoming somebody more or less important than he presently is. Rather, such descent into infamy can only diminish more of his controversial violent reputation and exposing his fully as an agent of hate and one afflicted with Igbophobic. Okay, this is the writer's opinion. So guys, what's your take concerning this? Kindly share your thoughts below the comment section. Thank you very much. Bye for now.